Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you. So just today, I'm going to be explain the real-time scenario. Just try to understand it. So if anyone is having any queries, just try to bring in the chat or you can unmute and you can ask this. So first of all, so we need to understand that. So let us consider a small example. Say any one of you start any business. So here, if you want to start a business, so what is the process? What exactly we required it? So generally, if anyone want to start any business, so what exactly we required it? So basically, so here, so if you want to start, so for example, the Sudarshan is a customer. So the customer or the client. Client is a mediator and the customer is nothing but who's going to be used that the application or the product. So if you want to start any business, for example, here, assume it ICICI banking. So till now, so we don't have the online banking services. This person need to be start the online banking services to start a business like that. So basically, we require the resources. Just please be in mute and turn off your video. So here we require the resources, then environment. So next, capital. Nowadays, all the people are using the applications for their business purpose, nothing but a software. Say the Sudarshan wants one application for their business purpose, and these are the requirements related to that application. So here there are some number of requirements, and the budget will be like 60 lakhs. So this is the cost now. So in the market, there are so many companies are there here. So one is like IBM, Infosys, the Capgemini, Wipro, TCS. So I'll go with that, the Techem. So the question is here, how the companies are approaching to this customer or how the customer is going to be approaching to the company. So what is the process here? So basically, every company is going to be maintaining the marketing team. So these people will market their business. Nowadays, we are going to be doing this SEO, search engine optimization. So they are promoting their business through online. So by posting the ads in YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Okay. So in that process, the customer heard about that. The IBM is one of the company. These people are developing the banking application. The customer will send a quotation to this IBM. So I need a project. These are my requirements and this is my cost like that. Sorry. So like that, these people are sending the quotations to the each and every company. So once we are going to be sending the quotations, after this, again the company has to give the quotation back. So in order to develop this, so we are charging like the IBM will set like 90 lakh. The Infosys will charge like 85 lakh. And Gemini will charge like 75 lakhs. So here the Wipro will charge like lakhs and the TCS will charge like 65 lakhs. The Techem will charge like 50 lakhs. So here the question is, as a customer, to whom we are going to be giving the project? To which company we are going to be give the project? Yes, which company we can provide the project? Yes, I need answers. Okay, from everyone. So please be interactive in the sessions.
Techem.
Yes. So here the most of the people are giving like the Techem. So because the cost will be like less. So see here, whenever we are going to be purchasing any product from the market with the less cost, we're expecting the quality. So may or may not be. So here we are starting a business. We are running a new business. So here we need to maintain the quality application. So if we are depending on the cost, then there may be a application is a not quality one. Again, it leads to the business is going to be collapsed. So going forward. So why? Because we are not maintaining the quality one. So if the customers are facing any issue, they won't go with this ICICI banking. So then the references, the users are less. So the business will be shut down like that. So here now the customer is going to be considering two factors to decide that to whom we need to give the project. One is the budget. They are going to be, they can bear 5 more lakhs. And one more thing here, the company standards. Every company have their standards like certification, Six Sigma certification. So level 5 company, level 4 company like that. So based on the company standards and based on the amount, now the customer is decided to give the project to the TCS. He can bear 5 more lakhs, but he cannot bear like 10 lakhs. So based on these two factors, one is the budget, another one is the standards the company is going to be maintained it. They are going to be giving the project to this, the TCS. So this process, entire process is going to be called it as like software legal agreement. There is an agreement between that the customer and the company. So one of your friend or colleague said, today we got a new project. So how the projects are getting it? So after completion of this, the bidding. This will be also called it as like project bidding. So this is about that software legal agreement. There is an agreement between this, the company and the customer. So once the agreement is completed, now the TCS will conduct one meeting. That meeting will be called as like the initial meeting or kickoff meeting. So here we have to understand that this startup meeting are and the initial meeting are the kickoff meeting. So why this meeting is going to be conducted? So here in this meeting, all the high level people, so like the HR managers, the finance team, the quality team, the delivery heads, the project managers, the project leads, the team managers, the team leads, all people are going to be included and they are going to be discussing about this, the project. So in order to develop this project, so how much cost we can bear it and the duration, so how much duration we required it, then how many resources we required it. Say for example, we require this 40 resources, then the HR people will provide that where these 40 systems are available. There are X and Y location, for example, different branches. So in Y location, we have the 40 systems, then we move the project to that Y location. So what is an environment we required? Everything they are going to be discussed here. When to start it, when to start it. So all these things are going to be discussed in this kickoff meeting, initial meeting, startup meeting. And here they are going to be deciding that the project manager. So one person is the responsible for the entire project. So they are going to be picking one person, the project manager. So the project manager will get a CEO. So who is going to be maintaining that. So here, this is about that the kickoff meeting or initial meeting or the stand-up meeting. So once this is going to be completed, now we have to focus on this, the SDLC, the software development lifecycle, how this application will be developed in the real time. Who are the people are there and what are the roles and responsibilities related to those people. So here we have to discuss about it in detail about that. So focusing on this, the complete development life cycle of a software. So here the software application directly cannot be built it. Okay. So here we have to understand that how the application is building, where the testers are involved. So what are the roles of a testers? We will discuss it one by one. So it will be very easy. So just concentrate on it. So in order to develop a software application, so first of all, here we have to gather the requirement. The first phase is like gathering the requirements. So from where we are going to be gathering it and who is the responsible for gathering the requirement. So who will gather the requirements from where they're going to be gathering the requirements. We need to understand it. So here the business analyst person is the responsible for gathering the information from the customers. Okay. So once we completed this agreement and everything, now the business analyst person will take an appointment from the customer. On appointed date, he will meet the customer and he will gather the information related to that ICICI project and placed in a document called BRS document. It consists of business requirement specification document. So it includes all the client stories or the requirement. So it is very simple. Okay, we try to understand this. So basically, here we have an organization. It is a company. The DURGASOFT is a company. So for this company, so here I'm the customer. I need a project. So the project will be like the manual plus Selenium codes. So the testing tools codes. So these are my requirements. So I want to start with the manual. So my timings are available. I'm available at 6:30 a.m. I need a batch like that. So I need this materials. I need the recording session. So I want to go through this, the interview questions as well, how to track the interview. So I need to go for a resume preparation. So these are my requirements. After this, I want to start with this Selenium. I need the basics of the CoreJava. So like this, these many requirements from the customer. So in this business analyst persons are there based on the advertisement, based on the promotions or marketing. So the customer heard about that. So this DurgaSoft is providing this, the manual plus Selenium courses. Now I make a call to this organization. I just provided it, or based on the registration, the business analyst person will call to you and he is going to be collecting all the details. So this many information. That information is going to be listed out in the BRS document, the business requirements document, and they are going to be detailedly analyze it and clearly mentioning in this FRS document. The full form is like functional requirement specification document. It contains the detailed information about that each and every functionality. So, for example, the customer is asking about that. So, the material, that material related information clearly mentioning here. So, we are providing the materials like that. They are going to be maintained it. Or, for example, if you go with the flip cart, so the cart is one functionality here. This cart related information will be placed detailed in the FRS document, how the cart will be working. So what exactly we have to test in the cart, all these details we are going to be handling it. So this is about that. The first phase, gathering the requirements from the customer. So the business analyst person is the responsible for gathering the requirements. So once they gather this information, then they will go for the planning, planning or analysis. So in this planning, right, the planning is already made in the kickoff meeting. So in the initial meeting, planning is already completed. So project managers, project leads, the team leads are going to be involved here. So here, so what exactly they're going to be discussed here? They're discussing about the project plan as well as the test plan. So here, coming to the project plan, we already discussed about that. So in order to start this project, developing this application or a software, how many resources are required, how many developers, how many testers, when we will start it, when we will stop it, what is an environment we required, everything they are going to be discussed it. Same like that for the testing side, to test this software application, how many testers we required, when we will start the testing. So what are the environment, what are the tools we are going to be using it, how the testing will be carried out, what type of testings we will be performing it on the application. The test plan will give the detailed information based on the plan. So the testing team will work and they need to complete the testing of a particular application. So this is about that, the planning. They will made a plan. So they need to implement that plan accordingly. The development and the testing will be performed it. So tomorrow I will explain this, the agile methodology. So the roles of a tester in any company, the duties of a tester from the day one onwards in the real time. So what exactly we have to perform it, the duties of a tester. So after getting a job, suppose you got that offer letter, so you are selected, your joining date will be on Monday. So that will be like, so 27. So once you join into the company, what are the activities you are going to be performed? I will explain it. So from the beginning. So here we have to understand this. This is about that, the planning phase. Once the planning is completed, then they will go for the design. So in design phase, the system analyst or the technical people are going to be involved. So these people are preparing this, the high level design and the low level design. So the high level design is nothing but the entire architecture of the application is going to be called it as like high level design. So the entire structure of the project. So coming to this low level, so the small functionalities related to the application. So for example, there is a chart, the chart related, the diagram, the flow will be provided, that will be called it as like low level design. For example, like if you are constructing any house, the entire architecture of the house will be called it as like high level design. So we have individual rooms, those diagrams are comes under the low level design. So they will provide this, the high level design and the low level design. So the design documents also I will share with by tomorrow. I'll explain it. So one by one. So how the design will be looks like. So everything. So for example, see here, I'll show you one scenario here. So just go to this Google Maps. So see here, in the Google Maps, there is one functionality like the zoom in and the zoom out buttons. So this diagram are given in the URL. We can play on that URL. Just you can click on it. So we'll verify that the map will be reflected by level 1. So whenever we clicking on that, the zoom in, this is like zoom out. So here, same like that, we can play on that design and we will understand that the functionality, for example, how the thought is working. So the part related design also they're going to be providing it. So based on that, we can understand it. So I'll show you by tomorrow. So this is about that, the design. The design is made by the senior architectures. The system analyst or the technical people are going to be involved. Once the design is made, so here we'll go for the coding. In this coding phase, the developers are going to be involved. So what exactly these people are going to be performed? The developers are developing this application and convert it into the executable file. Nothing but a project. So the project is going to be built by the the programmers or the developers. Once that is going to be developed, now the testing comes into the picture. So here we have to perform this, the testing. So who are the people are involved? The testers are involved here. So what are the rules here we have to discuss in the going forward? So what the testers are performing, they're going to be checking this, the complete application or complete system. So we'll call it as like system testing or application testing. In this entire application, what exactly they're going to be tested? They need to test that the functional and the non-functional requirements are properly working or not. So here we have to understand that. So here we have to focus on that the functional and the non-functional requirements of the system. So whether it is going to be properly working or not. The functional and non-functional requirement. This is going to be properly working or not. So in this training period, we more focusing on that how the testers are going to be testing this, the functional and non-functional requirements, what are the techniques they're going to be following it, and what are the documentation we need to go through that. So I will share all these, the real-time ones, whatever we are going to be using in our company. So we are going to be discussing about that. So all these things. So focusing on this, the testing activities. We more concentrate on the testing. We are the testers. We have to perform the testing on any application. Why we are doing the testing on any application? To check that the application is a quality one or not. So if we are not performing testing, so there may be some defects in the application. Finally, so the customer who is going to be purchase the software, that person is going to be losing their business. To avoid that, they are recruiting the testers and the testers are going to be performing the testing before delivering this software to the customers. So we have to do that whether the software is going to be meeting all these requirements or not. So the final phase is like we have that delivery and maintenance. We have a production team. So these people are going to be deploy the application into the client, the customer environment. So they will deliver the software, they will install a software into the client location. So this is about that, the SDLC, the development life cycle. So here we have to understand that the application is going to be developed like that. So it is not directly developed in any company. This is the process. First they gather the requirements, then they will plan it, they can design it, then coding, then testing. And here we have to go for the delivery and maintenance. So here why we are discussing about that, this SDLC means as a tester, we should know that the complete flow of a development of an application and the testing on our application. Then only so we can know that how it is going to be working in a software company. So here we have to focus on that, the real-time knowledge you required it. So the bookish knowledge is not needed nowadays. So everything you need to think like a practically, and you have to survive with this practical knowledge. An interview also, if you want to crack it, we require the practical knowledge. So we will take care of about this, the practical knowledge, the real-time scenarios, whatever we are facing in our company, I will share with you people, then you can easily crack the interview. So here, why we discuss about this SDLC, the main thing is most of the people are having some queries in their mind. The testers are checking the code. So did the testers will check the code? What exactly we are doing it? We are checking the code here. What we are going to be performing. So what we are doing in this? Anyone of you? What the testers? Where the testers are involved? The testers are involved in the gathering the requirements, planning, designing, coding. See, the testers are involving in the testing phase only. So testing means we are not checking the code. Okay. The testers are involved in this. Basically, the developer will develop this, the zoom in functionality. Okay. Our duty is just we need to click on the zoom in button and verify that the map will be to perform this. So increasing level by 1 minus 1 based on the operation we are doing it. So whenever we are clicking this zoom in and zoom out buttons, if map is not reflecting, it means these zoom in and zoom out buttons are not working. So we can simply say that these buttons are not working. So we are not checking the code, how the developers are developed that, what language they are going to be using it, what type of methods they are going to be using in the code. So we are not able to see the code as well. That is the responsibility of the developer. So our duty is simply so focusing on this. On the functionality. For example, here we have a flipboard. There is a card for the flipboard. Now, what is the purpose of this card? Just we have to add the product to the card. Once we are added, those items are available in the cart or not, whether we are able to remove it, to add it to one more product, like we need to test it, but we cannot check the code. So developed by the developers. So we are not the responsible for checking the code, but checking the functionality that is working as per the customer requirement. The customer is asking it. So whenever I search for any product, so for the time being, for the future reference, I want to add this product to the cart. So that is the reason. So just I will go and add to the cart. So once we add it to the cart, so this product is going to be adding to the cart or not. Now we have to validate it, but we are not validating the code developed by the developers. So here we have an options. We can add one more product like the count. We're able to increase it and we have to save it for later or remove it from the cart. So we can place the order from the cart. All these things we are going to be validated and we are not going to be testing the code. Okay. So we are not responsible for checking the code. The customer is asking, I want to increase the number. I can able to click on the plus button and I can able to increase the number. So same thing the tester is performing it, whether it is increasing it or not. Suppose if it is not increasing, then we can immediately inform to the developer this functionality is not working. That's it. So we are not checking any code so developed by the developers. Simply we are checking that whether the functionality is working or not. So this validation also given by this in the FRS document. So this is what we need to test in this part. So according to that, we are going to be validating. If everything is working fine, then we can say the card is working. So functionality correctly. So like that, all functionalities need to be tested and we need to give the documentation as well, the proof for the doing the testing. how you tested it, what are the documents you maintained it for performing the testing. All these documents are the evidences we need to share with the project team so they can go through that, they can check that one, and then finally they are going to be deploy the project into the client location. So once we have to complete this testing also happening in different stages. One is like system testing, then the second one is system integration testing, then UAT, user acceptance testing. Once this user will accept it, then only they will deploy that into the user's location. So three levels of testing. One functionality will be tested three times in the system testing. Then they will integrate with the system and again we are doing the testing. This UAT is done by the end users. So the customers are doing the testing again. Then if functionality is working fine, then they will accept it. They will do this. So from the customer point of view, they will know that they will do it, or they will recruit the testers, they will perform the UAT. They are going to be giving to the same company itself. So we can also perform the UAT testing. See, everything, any functionality, even a single functionality will be tested three times, and three times we are capturing the evidences and documents, how it is working, okay, what we are tested in this code like that. So this is how we are going to be performing the testing. So going forward, so if we have any queries, so we can discuss it in detail with that. So the testers won't involve in the design, planning, gathering requirements, coding. Only once that application is developed, then we are going to be performing the testing. So the testing is associated to the real-time environment in our day-to-day life, whatever we are going to be performing it. If we purchase anything, any product, every product from the market, we are going to be testing it, whether it is working correctly or not, like that. Same like that. The software also need to be tested. So whether this functionality is working or not. So anything, anyone, any application. So testing is common for all the applications. It is a banking, healthcare, insurance, whatever it may be. Here we are able to check that we are able to logging into this the personal banking. For logging into this personal banking, so we need to provide this username and the password. See, whenever I'm entering the password should be like encrypted. So in the dotted form, this is the condition or the requirement from the customer. Now it is working fine based on that. So here we have to validate like that. So and see the username, right? So whenever I'm going to be giving the username, so I just simply provide my name. While we are creating a username or register here. So if you want to register it, so you have to provide this the account number. Say I'm giving two, three numbers like account number. So here we have to provide it. I'm giving wrong details. Simply click on submit. See here, we'll get a message like enter valid account number. So this is what we are testing it. Whenever we are giving that the 1, 2, 3, whether this application is accepting it or not. So it should not accept it. So it is asking for valid an account number, enter a valid account number. So this is getting in a pop-up or not. We need to validate it. So like that, we are going to be tested. So we'll discuss all these things one by one with examples. What are the documentation we are going to be following it to perform all these activities. So just I'm stopping here today. Then tomorrow we will discuss about that. The roles of a manual tester. So the duties of a tester in any company as a tester, what are the roles and responsibilities we are going to be performing it? That will be like very important one. So we'll discuss about that. So on the end of the chapter, every time we're discussing about the interview questions as well. So whatever we are using in our company, I will share with you people. If anyone is having any queries, you can ask.
So good morning, sir. I have a query, sir. Can you hear
Yeah.
me, sir?
Yes, yes. Go ahead. I
Yeah.
can hear you.
As you said yesterday, sir, the fresher and experience, they have the basic function. They will have the basic work. But how do we have the career growth, sir? If the experienced and the fresher is doing the same work, how can we develop us and how will be the career growth in testing, sir?
No, here we are focusing on the growth. Like you have an experienced person, you are getting more money, right? Versus well getting the less money. So everything is considering with the money. The growth is also like that. Like there are different roles. You know that the roles here, like say the PAT program analyst trainee, then it will be changing to PA program analyst. These are the roles. So company to company, the roles will be changing it. Then associate, next senior associate. So more than 7 years, you will be becoming a senior associate. Then you will act like as a lead. So then the manager. These are the growth here. So based on your performance only, you will get the promotions. Based on that, the roles will be increasing it. So that's what I said, right? So here, the testing will be very easy. If you want to work like consistently, the people are choosing here. So the roles are increasing, career also going to be, the growth will be also in a good manner only. So everything is depends on your performance. If you are not perform well, so you will be becoming in just like a senior associate. You are more interactive in all these, then you will be identified, you will get a promotion like a lead. Then you will managing it. If you are leading one or two projects, then you will becoming a manager. Then that role will be different. So I'm providing like up to this lead level, right? So associate level. See whatever PAT means the fresher. So this is like 1 or 2 years. More than 2 years will be having associate. So more than 7 years will be having this senior associate. More than 10 plus, then it will be becoming a lead. So this will be the rules. For work side, so same work we are doing it. So most of the people, right, you have an experience like some are freshers, some are 2, 3 years gap people only. For those people, I said that. So don't fear about the experience you're putting it. The work is same. So as a fresher, whatever I'm doing it, so the even The senior associate also doing the same thing. So depends on it, but activities are same. But so for the senior associate, we are giving the less, and the PAT level will giving the more work. Sometimes the senior associates will take more work, and the PAT people will get less work because you are new. They will give less work. Once you are hands on, then they will give more work to you like that. So we'll see by tomorrow what are the duties are done by any person. So the rules, then you will understand that. So
Thank you,
in
sir.
this testing side, there are no enhancements while we are doing the testing. We no need to upgrade to any technologies. So that will be very easy and simple. So here we have to understand that.
Sir, do you need any coding knowledge for this? And second thing is, going to be start simultaneously some small project after class, before after the class. Will 10 minutes will do for some real time project simultaneously.
No. Need to discuss the concepts first. So we cannot do directly project.
Okay.
We need some concepts. So the practicals will be start later. First, we have to complete it. The basics. You need to understand, right, what need to be do our project. What exactly we have to test it like that. So we'll discuss the project as well in manual and Selenium. So we'll discuss about the project. So the minimum things are required. I'll explain that. Once those are completed, we will focusing on that, the practical side. So the testing will be very easy. That's what I said here. So I'll explain in such a way that everyone will get it, understand it in a clear manner. So you no need to worry on it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Fine. Yes. Anyone is having any questions? Yes, Swini, Suresh. So the career will be very, like I said, right, consistently work like a, then we people are choosing it. So most of the people having this pressures and experienced people, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus, I have 6 years gap, then they are fair about that. If I am putting 6 years of experience, they will give more work to me. I cannot handle it. I cannot do that work like that. So it's not like that. So whoever having the experience pressure, everyone will do the same activities. That's what you can put the more experience. If you put more experience, you'll get more money. So our intention is also same, right? Don't put only 2 3 years. So like based on your gap, you need to fulfill it, and you will get the job, and you have to fulfill your needs. That's what I'm conveying here. So there is always opportunities for the testing. You no need to worry on it. Say for example, I have 7 years gap from my so the graduate and this, and I'm thinking about how many years I need to put it. So some people said, don't go with the 7 years. They will ask more questions. They will give more work to you. You cannot handle it. Some people will say, put only 1 year, 2 years gap, so something. So like so many questions, so roaming on our mind, so we cannot so take a decision. So that's the reason. So here, the work side, there is no difference. If you put 2 years of experience, you will get 40 plus. If you put around this experience like 4 or 5, 6 years, you will get 60 plus, 70 plus. So you need to think yourself how much money needed so in a month to fulfill your goals, needs. Then accordingly, so you have to move on. Fine. So tomorrow, don't miss the class. We'll discuss about the roles from the day one onwards. What exactly we are discussing, I will explain it so that we can plan. Fine, right? No queries from anyone.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.